You're like, why do you have that? Like,
because I fucked around and told him I got into a car accident before that episode. This motherfucker queued it up.
That's what podcasting does now. Is the like,
hey man,
it's what happens with Banks. Anything personal will say or like offline has to then be on the podcast. Like if it's hilarious to us, it's gonna be hilarious to everyone else.
Indeed, man, indeed. We definitely got a good laugh out of that one.
Oh god. But wow, I mean, this I guess is a real surprise edition of Banks versus Davis with special guests, Plug with the Rug himself, Mr. Jefferson.
Yes, man. Glad to be on, man. I appreciate y'all boys having me. Yeah, shout out to the studio, RAOP.
Yeah.
Random acts go everywhere. You feel me?
Y'all see me? I'm in my work get up right now, man. I look like Michael Myers. I'm about to kill somebody.
Davis, that's called the monkey suit.
What?
It's called a monkey suit.
I know. Nope.
Yeah, don't listen to Banks, man.
I try not to, but that's the thing. It's hard not to.
I tell you what. So what's good, man? What we talking about today?
I don't know. Again, this is a surprise. It's an impromptu. I guess. Why do you think I'm funny? Because I think you're funny. Then you're like, so like Joe says you're funny. I'm like, nah, I ain't. Like,
nah, Davis, man, you fucking hilarious, man. You ain't your pops, man.
My pops is something else.
Nah, man. Yeah. Hey, man, you got the drip, bro. I told Banks we got to start calling you that, man. You ain't.
I'm not
Davis
calling
no
a grown man drip.
Well, that's the thing. It's like obviously
Banks.
you have your government name, but then on podcasts I have to be someone else. It's like,
right.
I mean, you and I probably know this man's government name, and one day I'll say it, and then he'll be like, "All right, right here." Now he's on
Thursday. You say my government name between now and Thursday, I'm gonna see you.
But that's the thing. Like the show being called Banks versus Davis is like his name could be a first name, and my name's always a last name. Like
right.
In school, the doctor's office to this day, it's like Colton Davis, and I'm like, nah, other way around. It's yeah.
Joe, give us your 5 favorite movies from the 90s, if you have any off the top of your head.
And 5 favorite movies from the 90s.
If you could do more, that's fine, Brody. But you know what I mean? 5 is cool right now.
All right, so I'm gonna just give you like some that come quick to my head, right? Nutty Professor, he got game. Let's go with I'm trying to think of the 90s, man. So anything animated, you know what I'm saying? That's always gonna be on my list. So yeah, let's just put that out there. But
you mean like Toy Story or what?
Yeah, all of that. I'm a big ass kid, man.
So see right here.
You seen Brave Little Toaster?
Yeah, man. Hey, Brave Little Toaster is fire, bro. I was talking to Amp about that shit, man. Amp was hating on that shit. Brave Little Toaster is a classic. I'm definitely gonna be putting my kids onto it. I'm definitely gonna be putting my kids onto that one. Balto made me cry, man. When they kids
right now, or are you saying like in the future?
Just future.
I was about to say,
nah. No little ones. Hey, the world ain't ready, bro. The world ain't ready for mine.
Hey, I keep trying to tell people I'm about to get that surgery, bro.
What, the snip?
Yeah,
I ain't doing that. I am a strong believer in
passing down my legacy. Yeah.
That's thing really makes fun of me because I'm like, yeah, I don't want to have kids, but I'm using protection still. Like, nah, like.
You gotta drop the condoms.
Oh, nah, yeah, no. I don't do that, bro.
You got. Oh my.
Look, Joe, it's me.
I'm a wild boy. You know what I'm saying?
It's literally everyone apparently.
Yeah, we like, bro, condoms. What? I ain't used the condoms.
Wait till y'all end up like Magic Johnson on Winning Time, which is
I'm waiting. Chill.
You talking about the bitches or that other shit?
I'll be that way like, ha!
Hey, look. He lived a prosperous life. They talk about they got a cure for it now. So hey, you know what I'm saying? They advertise
there's a cure for like there's male birth control, which is like, huh? Like, doesn't that defeat the purpose?
Right. I did see a wild like tweet thread about how like having sex with everyone, you're gonna catch an STI and this and that. And I was like, yeah, people do be wilding. But I'm a wild boy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was about to say that is the ultimate. Yeah, it was a tragedy. Can you repeat the question? Like, it's just in one ear, out the other. It's like,
right.
What?
I mean, I try and do my best vetting. You know what I mean? And thank God,
Yeah.
that I've been good so far. So.
Yeah. But again, praying and hoping, just like that's when you again turn to God for real. If you don't already, just like, please,
what?
Help me.
I ain't gonna lie now. It's definitely been some times that I had to hit the altar. You know what I'm saying? And say, dear Lord, look, I was wilding. I know I was wilding. You know I was wilding. But I need you to forgive me. I would not hit these nasty hoes no more.
Yeah, it's a Charles Barkley in Space Jam. I'll never go out with Madonna again. Like
straight up.
Or Patrice O'Neal has that good bit about you always get religious right before you board a plane. Like you help a woman with her bag, and then I'm a nice person. You can't crash this plane, please, God, please. And then when we land, she looks at me. I get you a fucking bag. This is ground karma. Like, no, we good now. We're on the ground.
Straight up.
Yeah, I'm still petrified of flying, bro. No many how.
Oh, I know. That's like this will be my 4th time on a Thursday of ever flying, and I'm still like, I was just watching the 3rd episode of Winning Time, and Dr. Dre Bus is like, all flying a plane is just falling, and I'm like, oh my God, that's all I'm gonna think about now when I'm like sitting in my seat, just like.
That's crazy, man. It never crosses my mind. I think like the last time I flew, it did while I was like in the airport. But like once I get on the plane, bro, I don't think about that shit none. I really be ready to fall asleep on that shit.
I try to, but then I'm just like, we're still up there. And then and I had like a rough landing once we landed in New Jersey. It was just like, and I'm like,
Right.
No, but I mean, so you said Brave Little Toaster. I mean, because Banks and I talked about this a couple months back. Brave Little Toaster, like much like kids movies of our youth are just like strangely dark when you look at it as an adult.
Right.
And it's that thing like, are they really meant for adults at that time? And just because it's cartoons, you can sell it to kids easier, but they won't really know. It's just all these different colors and this and that. And like all dogs go to heaven. It's like, it's about dogs that die and go to heaven. Like that's some dark shit. Like when you think about it now as an adult, like can you imagine? Like wait, huh?
It really
Michael
is.
Vick shouldn't have been the devil in that movie.
That's crazy. That's a crazy.
He did his time though. He did his time.
Yeah, bro. Forgive that man, bro.
The worst time is actually with the Eagles. Like I'd rather go to jail.
Roy
than play
Jones
for the
be
Eagles.
fighting chickens.
Wait, who?
Look, man. Roy Jones, man, the greatest boxer.
That's his
Greatest
OG,
boxer.
Davis. His uncle know
Greatest
Roy
boxer,
Jones.
bro.
Really, Roy Jones.
Roy Jones breaking bones.
He as you know, he
Pound
from
for pound,
Pensacola.
bro. Pound
So
for
his
pound,
uncle.
the greatest boxer, bro.
Stop.
I never was really into boxing because as I was growing up, MMA had just started to take off. So that was basically my boxing. So I'm more in MMA than boxing.
Hey, man. Roy went to 3 different weight classes and won the title, if I ain't mistaken. Like, the boy was bad, man. The boy was bad. He made several piss poor decisions, but statistically, prior to them decisions, undeniable, man. Undeniable. He would have went down as the greatest boxer had he not fucked off and fought taller.
Y'all must have forgot.
Would you put him on your Mount Rushmore of greatest athletes?
Greatest athletes? Nah.
Yeah, across all.
He wouldn't make it. He wouldn't make it because he got like the L's he was taking after are unforgivable. Like,
But don't you root for the Jaguars? So you got what? David Garrard. You got.
You
Justin
think they would make
Blackmon.
it? Any of them would make it to a fucking Mount Rushmore? The Jaguars. The Jaguars would be on the fucking. Nah, I mean, I love, I love the city. I love the team. You know what I mean? But Like, we gotta be honest, the man. You know what I'm saying? Like, not when you can mention Tom Brady.
True.
Not when you
Again,
can mention. Huh?
No, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say it's too many like amazing players. You know what I'm saying? To where like now, if we was talking like Fred Taylor, we were talking like Mark Brunell. You know what I mean? Like solid dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like Tony Baselli. Come on, man. But
I mean, Maurice Jones-Drew, he's from the Bay. He's kind of a local legend where I'm from in California.
For sure. Maurice Jones-Drew put the team on his back for many years, bro. For many years, he was our fucking workhorse. Always.
Also being a short king as well. You know, representing me. People
straight
like me.
Straight up. You know what I'm saying? We in here.
Come on.
Hey, man. How tall are you?
I'm barely like 5'7" is the thing. That's the whole point. Like me and Tom Cruise is like, that's why Tom Cruise is as crazy as he is, because he's got to overcompensate for being so short.
Bro, I may be like 5'8". You know what I'm saying? Like,
Banks, is this true?
No, he taller than that. He bullshit.
I'm not. No, I'm not. Like, I swear to God.
Dog, Joe like 5'9".
No, I'm not, bro. I would kill to be 5'9". Like 5.
That's the thing. Just to be Nate Robinson would be like.
You know what I'm saying? Like.
And supposedly his shoot weight was like 5'7". Nate Robinson.
Oh, his height?
Yeah. Because you know how they do in the NBA and
they always
sports.
add, yeah. Which is stupid. Like again, like Kevin Garnett was actually like over 7 feet, but they was like he's 6'11".
They don't rate 6'11".
They kind of like will cheat their height. They'll either add extra or subtract. Yeah. So like Kevin Garnett never wanted to play center, so he said he was like 6'11". So any 7-footer would have to be center automatically.
Yeah.
But then like Kevin Durant was the one who said like he'll tell women he's 7 feet as like a way to pick up women. But again, it's like you're Kevin Durant. Shouldn't that suffice? Like
yeah, like I mean, shit. I just flashed them keys. Like I'm not fire. You know what I'm saying?
And that's really the whole thing with Tiger Woods. There's that great ESPN article by Wright Thompson where what kind of started his whole cheating on his wife was that he was with Michael Jordan and Derek Jeter, and he's like saw an attractive woman. He's like, "Oh, I wish I could go talk to her." And then they're like, "Just you're Tiger Woods." It's like that's it. Like he had never realized that because like if you see like the documentary that HBO did about him, he was always a shy, quiet type guy, like from military father. But like once he like realized like the fame he had, he just went OD as we saw.
Right.
He was Magic Johnson, but like somehow he got lucky.
For real. That's crazy.
So he was teeing off in these holes raw.
Basically. That's why he was doing like, come on, like just the fist pumps and like.
Yeah, remember he got caught with AGH?
My dad always said that, like, because again, my dad's a golf pro, and he always said like he either believed Tiger was on something, that's why his body broke down so quickly, along with his style, like his swing had a lot of torque and all that. But also he did the cheat code thing where like you wear tighter clothes to seem more muscular. But my dad was like he was on stuff and they wouldn't like. I think because there was a thing about like piss tests going on in the PGA, and it was like it never came around to like him. He was always like someone might say like whenever we get tested, it's never him. He's never around. But that's I think almost like the UFC where like it's individual, not like everyone shows up on like Tuesday or Thursday for practice. It's that there was just always the rumors that he was on stuff, which again makes sense given his knee injuries, and he was also training for the Green Berets when that happened.
Damn. All that for golf?
No, when his dad had died, that's why this article is very interesting. Like he wanted to then transition to be a Green Beret, like at 30-something years old. It was kind of like the Michael Jordan, like playing baseball thing. On the surface, I mean, people will think, it was gambling, this and that. But Tiger Woods' whole thing was he had like done basically like training sessions with the Green Berets. Like they would do like capture the flag and like gun range stuff, and he was really considering it. Like he was running miles and military boots, and apparently that's what like fucked up his knees.
Yeah.
To the point where like his swing, it just like along and the possibility of HGH just like cracked that. And that's the thing, like my dad will make fun of like he'll wince after every bad swing, and that kind of carries on. It's like you miss like 4 straight jumpers, and you're like, oh man, that's not my day today. Like, whereas like you might just suck. Like,
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, nah, I mean, what happened to Tiger was sad as far as like his decline, you know what I mean? His body just tearing down on him, but he been doing that shit for so long, you know, it kind of makes sense.
yeah, when you see it from him as a 3-year-old, basically, it's
right. And like to the degree he's been playing that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's why I tell Banks with this podcast show, like that's gonna be me at the end of the year. Like I'm just like I'm done.
I hear that. And we are.
But then you also got the rugs going on too, is the thing.
Man, look, and it's hard balancing sometimes, you know what I mean? But hey, I'm in it doing it, you know what I'm saying? Got to get it in. So a lot of sleepless nights. You know what? We here, baby. We here. Last night I got like 4 hours of sleep. I woke up this morning. I was like, hey, nothing can stop me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm finna conquer the day.
Again, do you use that as motivation? The RIOP stuff, all the regular content and the Patreon content, and then the rugs on the side, and then your just normal everyday life. Just use that again, like as the Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson mentality. Like you can do it all and still be at the top of the game.
Yeah, for sure. So I, you know, as I'm juggling these things, the one thing that I am thinking about is, I often tell myself, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get to the point I can have my life. You know what I mean? Like right now I'm working to be able to curate the life I want. You know what I'm saying? So, grinding hard. Like we record nonstop. I think tonight we're going to a show, right? There's an artist by the name of Nate Day that's in town and whatnot. So we're gonna go check it out. And we just interviewed him, but there's another artist from the city that's in town, OG Young Marco, and we're like, yo, even if it's 3:00 in the morning, we gonna get this interview. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of sacrifices made, but it'll all pay out, you know. And I think we all got the same mindset in that regard, you know, as far as the podcasting, because y'all boys work nonstop as well, especially Banks as.
Yeah. That was I had to message you that one day when you said he pouring himself out because it's a fact. Like, he'd be over here, over there. Like he's the Dennis Rodman.
Yeah,
like,
I'm telling you.
Stuff here.
That's why I need to go to Vegas for 4 days.
That is true. We do have vacation, but even like you said, that's still work. There's still work to be done there as well.
Yeah, but it's less because I think it's more.
It's gonna be more.
You think so?
Yeah. So what's going on in Vegas?
Well,
not Vegas,
Dallas.
Yeah,
Dallas
metaphorically. On the last dance, remember Dennis was like, Scotty back. I'm about to go to Vegas and get my mind right. Like, who go to Vegas to get their mind right?
Right, got you.
But Dallas, we got some shit that we about to record, probably shoot out there as well. So, like you just said, it's nonstop, even when you think it's about to stop.
Right, for sure.
But that differentiates us from, you know what I mean, just people in general that just like, I'm gonna be on StreamYard. It differentiates us from
differentiates.
There you go.
I was gonna let it go by, but then
no, because this man like he'll get me on certain words. I'm like, all right, bro.
That was a real Matt David. Like, what?
I'm sorry. LAUSD. No, but it's a difference between, you know, just being on StreamYard and then, you know what I mean, doing this shit in person or promoting it. It's, you know what I mean, the StreamYard shit kind of died out in 2020 once the pandemic was like, all right, it's going to be what it is. Or I should say last year. So now people want to see you actually interact with the people you with. So it's just...
If you can, because again, like, look at, I mean, you two are in the same place, but I'm not, obviously. So there's so much that can be done, and who else can stop by? And that, so that's why StreamYard as like the concept is, again, it's available for everyone.
Indeed.
That's why so many podcasts started. And again, you can do it remotely. Again, the whole work from home stuff started. So that's like, well, if I want to have a podcast with someone who lives in a different state, we can do it this way. We just need the proper tools, a webcam, a mic, a light, and all that to, you know, look professional, even when you're not. So then 2 years down the line, maybe you can be. Again, like I said, like, you got to put the work in at any time of the day, whether you're tired from work or already doing 2 shows to begin with, you got to keep going, because again, the content is what drives everything going. The reason so many shows are either rebooted or movies are like have sequels is because something always seems to be going on. Like the market, it's, I guess that's what capitalism is. We just always want more and need more, and that's why podcasting probably is that next medium where, again, Spotify got in the game. Apple really doesn't seem to do it like that yet, but who knows? And then, I mean, we joke about being probably the first official. I mean, that's not. There are podcasts on HBO Max because they always promote it with their own shows. Like there was a Watchmen podcast, there was an Insecure podcast, but like if we were to be like, here's why you should subscribe to HBO Max, like they got the content layer library pod.
Yeah,
that's what we could be. Is just like, you know, because again, selling their product and talking about it. Because again, that's, you know, it's all advertising as well, and that's why, you know, promoting something like SeatGeek would be easy. You just have to be like, hey, Banks, like, I mean, you live in Florida. I mean, but you're an Angels fan. Shohei Ohtani is coming to town. Blah blah blah. Like, you know.
Yeah. No, like you said.
Does that make you? So that makes you want to still be in it, even though as it's blowing up and it can be tiring? Because someone like me who's like, I said the other day on Black Wrestling, where it's like I was always like the shy, quiet type guy in the classroom. Like if you talk to me, I talk back, but I wasn't going to be like the loud, boisterous guy, because that's what seems to drive people to podcasting. If you're already loud to begin with, you want to be loud on the air, to have a personality, whether it's genuine or not. But it's for someone like me, it's just I enjoy the conversation of podcasting and having fun with it as well. But like, let's actually talk about the shit, and jokes can be had too, and all this and that. But it's still, at the end of the day, I'm like, what am I even doing? Like this shit. Like, I joke like I'm the Jerry West and Wayne time. Like this shit fucking pisses me off. I can't do this anymore. It's killing me. Like, but again, it's like it's all you know now because it's all you've, and because it's what you wanted. Like how he wanted to be the best NBA player, well, the best basketball player, and then now he realizes he's not the best coach, which is why he's stepping down. But it's that mentality of like, if it's all you know, you can't get away from it, even if it drives you crazy. You're in it for life.
That's exactly it. So, I'll say this. Initially, I never had any intentions on ever being, you know what I mean, on a podcast. You know, once my homie Amp asked and, you know, told me to like what he wants to do with everything, I was locked in, you know. And as I grow with it, as I'm going, as I'm moving, man, I'm like, this is perfect. You know what I mean? Like I'm in it. I'm here. You know, I'm a student of the game now. I'm trying to enhance what he's built, and you know what I mean. Enhance what I bring to the table, essentially. So yeah, I would say that it definitely drives me to keep going, and it drives me to look at things, you know, based on efficiency. So trying to juggle the podcast, trying to juggle the rugs, trying to juggle, you know, like you say, having a life and whatnot, going out and being present. So yeah, I do think it takes that you know, that focused mindset. But I would say I'm like Magic Johnson with it, in the sense that I'm still gonna have my fun. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get the work done. When I'm present, you know what I mean? I'm here to get the job done, and you know, I'm gonna dibble and dabble.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about Banks is I think Banks' whole thing is just maybe it's from like his Lance Storm mentality of just work. Like work. That's all you got to do is just work, and then nothing else matters. Like, right?
In a sense, but you know, before I started producing for them, you got to understand they was 300 and I want to say 98 episodes in, 97, somewhere around that end. So with that, it tells you exactly where they are, him, Joe, Devin, and where they are, and then where they still want to go, because it's easy for people to say, I'm good where I'm at. We say that, we see that a lot now, especially since the pandemic happened. People like, oh, my episode got, let's say 1,000 views. I'm cool. Let's chill out. I don't think enough is enough, particularly with us and male-driven egos, you know, both good and bad. You just be like, no, I want, like you said, it's like capitalism, but in the sense of I want more from what I do. So as it relates to me, it's not for stats. It's not for to say I outwork people. It's just my mindset has always been that since I was a shorty. Like you gotta work to get what you want. And eventually you might get it, you might not. But at the same time, you never know what can happen unless you try. That's always been my mindset of just trying as well.
Yeah. I mean, much like Joe, I was like, hey, that'd be something that, like I would listen to podcasts and be like, oh, it'd be cool to do one day just to see what it was like. And then Black Wrestling hit me up one time after I did something, and they're like, would you want to be on? I'm like, yeah, of course. Like I've always wanted to be on one. And I thought like, oh, I was going to try to go to school for that and all that. But I'm like, I already hate school. And that just seems too long of a way to get there.
Yeah.
And too much money as well. And I got to go through all the other shit where I'm like, I'm not even going to use this stuff. It's that mentality of, again, for what I want to do, I need to know everything just for that, not all the other stuff. Which is like, no offense, but that's kind of how it works. They always say like, what have you retained and this and that. Some stuff you do, some stuff you don't. I mean, some stuff you wish you had learned back then because it would have helped you out now. Like I wish I would have been like those AV classes.
Right.
I just didn't really like look into it then because I'm like, I mean, on the surface it looks interesting, but I don't know what to do. But again, like similar to what you said about RIOP, like Black Wrestling already been going, and I just joined on. It's like, what can I add and how can I help push it further? And that's what we've been doing. That's what we'll continue to do because that's how you can eventually get paid. But I guess I don't know. Like at the end of the day, do you want it to be the job or do you want it to be the hustle? I think some people get complacent with it as a hobby. I had said it to Banks early on, where like this is a fun thing to do, but then after a while, like you really got to put into it if you want it to keep going, because at some point it's just you're wasting each other's time, and I want to do that to him, given all he does. Go ahead.
How old are you?
I turned 27 last month.
Okay. So I'm 31, and we know Banks and shit.
You see, talking shit and Wi-Fi messing up. Go ahead.
I think at our age, we.
Oh.
Oh no, it ain't the Wi-Fi. Hold on, my computer's gonna die.
Oh, okay. Because I thought that shit was moving. It was like, yo, am I in time cop right now? What the fuck?
Yeah, well, I'm about to say, like, is he going to the other room to talk to you? Like,
no, that was just weird because it was like he was talking, then all of a sudden,
yeah, he was talking away from, but we could still hear him. Yeah,
that freaked me out. I'm like, hold on. Am I on
ayahuasca?
We good money now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we straight now.
All right, so yeah, I think at our age, it's important that we do turn our hobbies into profits. You know what I mean? Because there's a niche market for everything. If you collect cards, there's somebody that's willing to buy one. You know what I mean? If you collect quarters, you know what I mean? There's somebody that'll buy your entire collection. So again,
I mean, you're doing it with the rugs, like rugs design like an album cover or a cartoon character. Like that's a certain, it's something that's probably always been in someone's mind. Like, oh, it'd be cool to have like a custom rug of this and that. But you got to probably be, super famous or rich to like get something like that. Then if you learn the basics of how to do it yourself, then you become the first one into the market with it.
Come on, man. Talk about it. Yeah, man. So I think with the rugs, I encourage people to get into it. I look at things like this. So the more people that are doing something, the more attention is drawn to that market, So like think of podcasts. A few years back, you could only name a few, and they were the big name podcasts, Joe Rogan, Joe Budden, you know what I mean? I guess you could call what Academics was doing, a podcast.
Phil Simmons,
Phil Simmons, yeah. So I think that now when you talk to people about podcasts in general, they'll name 3 or 4, 5 to 10 that they listen to that you may have never heard of, but they're actual fans of, and I think that's really important because it continues to drive the focus for the genre, the medium.
Yeah, because that's what it is, and that's why Banks coined like it's the new rap game because
Hmm.
everyone thinks they can do it and then they'll try it. Then
Right.
one might get one hit and then it's quiet the rest of it, or some might not ever make it after 7 years and you just gotta like give up on it. But if you had put the work in until then, at least you were trying.
Indeed.
You
I
see
think
what goes off, like what makes it, and you're like, really, that's what's making it? Like isn't that? And then you see what you're doing, and like you think that's, you can be like me, like think it's either great or terrible, because sometimes it's both. One day it's bad, one day it's, oh my god, we just did fucking amazing, like we fucking can do this shit, and then the next time it's like, oh my god, let's not even put that out. Like who would listen to this?
right.
But, I mean, what takes off, whether it's like industry plants or just a certain audience gathering around, like make this the big deal. I mean, that's I think what happened with like Joe Rogan. It seemed like it was like a famous guy. He was a comedian turned UFC commentator, and then he was kind of in both. I mean, these genres of like sports, MMA fans, comedy fans, and then you start talking to all these weird people. Then it became like that niche, and then like everything else goes along with it. Celebrities, like, well, I mean, he has an audience of 20 million people, and this and that.
Right. So I think that many people get discouraged because it doesn't take off like like they see with rap. You know what I mean? They don't get as quick of attention as far as reactions go, as far as consistency and views or any bit of numbers, whether it's followers. When you look at analytics, when people are juggling those struggles, I think that oftentimes they like I say, they get discouraged and they start to look to other things that can that can get them rich quick or get them the attention that they need. Because
cheap pops.
So I think also a lot of people today want to be in podcasts just because they think that it's a moment to be like a fashionable, you know what I mean, like presence, or I'm the guy that smokes weed, and it's like, yeah, we all know that person, but what makes you a good guest? You know what I mean? What are you doing that's different? What are you bringing to the table to offer to the show?
Mm-hmm. I told this to Banks. I think it was sometime in early 2021. It's like there are either guys that want to be, not just a segment guys, but like there are people that want to be podcasters and there are people that want to podcast.
Right.
The podcasters want to be the ones like known for it because again, it's the thing to be like, oh my god, you're a podcaster. That they want to be like a Joe Budden or like, oh, I heard like on that. But then the people that want a podcast are the people that want to have conversations about the stuff they're into, and with guests, with people that they want to talk about it with. And I think Banks and I are kind of in the latter. Like we want to have conversations about the shit we enjoy, or like that pisses us off. Like we want to talk about Brave Little Toaster, or we'll talk about our Twisted Fantasy. It's like we'll cover whatever we want to talk about, and like no one's forcing us to cover all these HBO Max shows. We just happen to watch most of them, and that's the irony. Like, well, I mean, imagine if we get paid for watching these shows that we were already going to watch.
Right.
Then there's the people who'll be like loud and like, oh, they'll have either wild takes or they'll do wild shit to get notoriety. I think that was the one pod last year, right, about dating advice, or I mean, I guess was it earlier this year? I can't remember.
Right around
that's every podcast, Davis.
Well, I mean, their whole thing was to blow up by doing something like that. See, here's what we need to do as men, and
right.
It's or something like this. Here's what's wrong with Kanye West, or like they'll just have the super basic like this will get views, and some again you'll see them fall flat on their face after. Because again, I mean, you guys had talked to, because I actually listened to the one with Nadalak.
Yeah,
he said it, and it was actually like very like informative because he
that
said
was your
this,
first
like,
episode, right? Not to cut you off, Davis.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was very informative what he said about you don't get paid off streams. I could go sell a CD right now for $5 and make more than they're making.
Right.
And that was kind of the whole thing of like everyone can get into the podcast game. Not everyone's going to get paid. And that's why you see people get at each other or align with one, because if I'm with them, maybe they can do the favor, like so on and so on. and you see people try to mimic other people's styles and this and that, to think like, well, I can be the great value version of that, because even that shit sells, whether it's at the Dollar General or at Target, it's still going to sell. I mean, again, that's the whole marketplace of, we always need more. It doesn't matter if it's the best or the worst. It's going to sell. People still buy it because it might be for their preference, or they just, it's what's there. Like, all right.
Right.
Like, if we're not talking about, you know, like I watched the show Mayans on FX. It's a Sons of Anarchy spinoff. But Banks and I haven't talked about that. But if there was a pod that talked about that, and someone wants to hear that discussed weekly, they would listen to that podcast instead of us. Indeed. You know, that's kind of how it works. You find what you're interested in, or, you know, if you just like hearing people talk about whatever with people that you won't even know, but that they can put you onto, again, like Nat Alaco, I'm like, this is interesting. Like,
yeah. And I think that's where, you know, I kind of fit perfect in the realm with, you know, RAOP, because, our topics being varied and the guests being varied, allowing for different personalities and things like that. Like, I can come on and, you know, have a moment of just wild entertainment, say some off the wall shit, and then, you know what I mean? It just be, you know, like I say, inflow of things, opposed to some of the more structured podcasts, you know what I mean? Just in the sense, I kind of vary, you know what I'm saying? I flow from time to time. So, you know, like you said, everyone's able to find one that fits their personality perfectly. I think that's amazing for the game. You know what I mean? I think it speaks volume to where we're headed with podcasting in general, you know, and the power of podcasting. So,
yeah, I mean, I guess the clip that I kind of like think about is you and the Push and P. Like, that's something that could, like, realistically, something like that's supposed to like blow up, because that was all talked about on the timeline that whole week of that album's release.
Right.
Like, you know, you see the tweets with the emoji and all that, but like, you know, you guys talked about that because it was the thing to talk about, but then you're not just doing that for the clicks or these likes. It's like, you know, let's talk about this.
Yeah, for sure. And like you say, I think that it is important that you find a podcast that, you know, is able to touch on topics that relate, you know, very well to your mindset, your like-mindedness, you know what I mean? Because if not, like you said earlier, it does become a waste of time, even as a listener.
Mm-hmm. Or if you like the personalities, again, like, I may not know anything you guys are talking about on RLP, but I want to hear your banter back and forth as people, because it's hilarious. Like,
yeah, for sure.
The whole point is to put people on to stuff. We're just, you know, not sell your opinion to people, because that's kind of the other thing about it is, is this who you are, or this is who you're trying to be? I think it's what gets lost in the whole, like, everything's a work, because everything's wrestling at the end of the day is the crazy part. For anyone that watches wrestling a long time, and then you see how the world works, it's like from politics to this and that's, like, oh shit, yeah, you know what? This shit is like fake, or like, wow.
Yep. You start to see the charades behind it.
Yeah, you just gotta offer. I'm just piggybacking a little bit on what you're saying. I don't really have too much to, you know, add to it. Otherwise, just be you. I think that's the only thing I can say is people put different personas on, because once again, everything is in fact wrestling, especially in this game, where it's just like, be you. If you don't know something, you don't really need to talk about it or educate yourself after the episode. I think when the camera is on, or you hit your live stream on StreamYard like we on here, and then people think that you have to turn into somebody totally different. If you don't know, then either look it up while you're on your laptop.
You're saying you don't do the Randy Orton before every recording. You don't get in the character for Banks. You don't like.
Listen, man, I'm too relaxed.
You don't look in the mirror and go, "Ka."
That's fucking hilarious. See, you are funny, Davis. That's fucking hysterical.
Here.
That's funny. It's
like Banks isn't even from California. Yeah, he's from Michigan. Like,
that would be hilarious, because they do sound like they from Cali. But no,
that's why I said that.
I don't do none of that weird shit. Like, I'm not. Whatever he said, put your head down, make the veins pop out. Like, nah, that's some wild shit.
That's why he started smoking weed, because that man was getting headaches like a motherfucker.
You never smoked weed before, Davis?
One time, literally one time.
And what was your perception of it?
I had never wanted to because my mom had done it, and my whole thing was like I wasn't gonna drink. I was just basically gonna be straight edge, just because like I don't know, like I had tasted alcohol and I was just like, not for me and drugs. I'm like, well, I had been scared by Bill Simmons explaining how he was scared of cocaine because it killed Len Bias.
Yeah.
After one time, so I was like,
Right.
that makes sense. And then I've seen enough Scorsese movies to be like, if you start doing cocaine, your life is here, and then it goes down here
Right.
after that. So I'm like, that's strike number 2. And then the whole like less than 0, you start turning tricks because you need your fix. It's like, so that's strike 3. Yeah, I'm never doing any type of drugs, no matter what it is. Because I also don't want to be like the walking zombie, like, hey, bro, or Matt Riddle, like everything has to like. Again, I'm the weed guy. Like I can see like it's used for health purposes as well. Like there are times like, man, if I had smoked some, I probably would be perfect right now. Like I would be anti Jerry West. I wouldn't be as like, fuck shit. Like this, we're all gonna be dead anyway. Blah blah blah. Like
right. I mean,
you're muted. You're mute. See, I can't even say muted. Like I always say muted.
My fault. I'm pretty sure nobody has ever sold pussy for no weed, bro.
oh my god, nah. I don't.
You sure?
I don't.
Never say never. Never say never.
I don't
I'm from
know
LA,
that.
so maybe, but
I don't know that anyone has done that wasn't already. You know what I'm saying?
Doing it to begin with.
like you gotta really want to smoke to do that shit. Like, damn, I gotta sell some ass to get some weed. Like, bro, just I give you the money that I got. Even if it's a little bit.
I'll give you this weed.
Yeah, just take it, bro. It's not crack. Go ahead.
No, but no, I've never done it. Why would you ask, Banks? Are you trying to? All right, Officer Banks, what are you trying to say? Right now?
No, maybe
People say I'm the cop. I mean, it's obvious based on my white skin, but still.
Well, you
I
got
say
to come back to, you know what I mean? You got Officer Davis going on.
Hey, what's the problem here, bud? Huh?
See?
What's that one movie with Nick Cannon when he was an undercover cop?
Oh, Underclassmen.
Yeah.
Or Rosalind Sanchez, yeah.
Her fine ass. Yeah, that was in Rush Hour 2.
Yes,
see
indeed.
that. I ain't see it. Let me see
Yeah.
I ain't see it.
I guess that's the best thing about the Batman is everyone had that same reaction to the Robert Pattinson's Batman being, a voyeur. Because I said it right away, like, oh shit, he's me. I mean, what? Huh? I mean,
Y'all got the same hairstyle, kind of.
I haven't
on
seen
Thursday.
it yet, man.
You bald head bitch, you.
Joe, I got you. I forgot. I said I was gonna send you the link.
What, to the Batman?
Yeah.
I mean,
you don't be going to the movies?
I want to go to see this, but
you don't got the time,
bruh.
That's what I try to tell Joe. That's what I try to tell Davis, bruh. And
no, I say I tell you, you have to make the time because since we started this party, like movie of the year, you got posted movie of next year, and then this year finally comes like movie of the year. I'm like, go to the goddamn theater to see it then. Like,
right.
I'm in a 360 deal with a company that's owned by a soon-to-be trillionaire, all right? But besides that, you know what I mean? It's podcast and shit too. And because the NCAA tournament on, so.
See, it just was like your excuse of the Suicide Squad. Like the Olympics are the night before. This is going on. I gotta catch up on New Japan Cup. It's like New Japan Cup.
That shit's still going on right now.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I already know the finals. Like,
but it's just time, bro. Because if I go late at night, I know I'm gonna go to sleep.
But that you said you control time.
That as well. Joe, have you seen Tenet?
Oh.
I saw it once, man, but Tenet was like difficult to get into. Not necessarily like I get the concept of it. He was trying to prevent something before it happened by like traveling backwards, and yeah, I get it, but the storyline was just kind of all over the place at points.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, because it was one of the earliest things we talked about. I was like, if this was just more straightforward, it'd be great.
Right.
Like, you didn't have to confuse me at the end, but like, so Robert Pattinson went back in, so he's gonna wind up dead. But then, how is he able to go back in? Because then, like, you're bending your own rules, kind of like again, like I gotta smoke something because my brain hurts right now from like, wait, huh? But that's why he's like, no, you don't, like, don't try to think, just feel it. But like, no, I want to understand what I just watched, because otherwise it's like, what happened?
All right, I got a good question for y'all. What's a show that got canceled for you that you feel like it deserved more?
The Red Man and Method Man show.
That's a good one.
When did that happen?
01.
Yeah,
Like
On
right
what?
after How High, they was like,
it was very short.
bro, that
stint.
shit was like 4 episodes.
On what channel?
Fox.
I think
It looked
MTV.
like Beetleborgs.
Really?
How they shot it, it looked like the same cinematography as Beetleborgs. No shit.
Wow.
Like angles and everything. I'll send you it. It's probably on YouTube, but
That's funny.
Fox is
Were they Method Man and Red Man, or like?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the mom from Friday was they like mom. So basically, it's just How High too, in the sense.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, like,
They got some money. They was in the mansion and shit.
I'm trying to think.
So
Well, I
for
was
me-
mad that Blue Mountains. I was mad that Blue Mountain State ended before senior year, and then they made the terrible movie via Kickstarter. Because that shit was trash. It was like, you might have all just left it as is. But like, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, you just had to let them complete senior year, and like, it would have been good. But like, I'd say that was the one show when I found out it was canceled, I was very disappointed by.
I remember that show. I never checked it out though.
It's good. It's why we're all like demons on Twitter now, because we grew up watching wrestling and Blue Mountain State and all this other stuff that I will leave to the side. But like, that didn't help.
Wasn't that movie? It was, what's his name? Tad. What was the dude name? His character name?
Thad. Well, it's
Yeah,
like
Thad.
he's like, my real name is Kevin, but when I was a kid, I had a list where I said, I'm very Thad. He's like, and I own that shit. I embraced it. Like,
wasn't he was like the dean or something like at the college?
no, in the movie, he is drafted to the NFL, so he wants to go back and throw a party, but then they find out that he got an injury by him doing some stupid shit, so like he'll never be able to play in the NFL. It was like very dumb. Like, wow, yeah, you guys actually wrote some like good episodes, and this whole movie is stupid.
You got Thad Land. So
yeah, Rise of Thadland.
Yeah. So
Badlands was good. Mine would be Collateral. It was on Stars.
oh shit, they did have a TV show.
Are you familiar with that show? Man. So
yeah, because I remember they did it right after the movie, obviously, but I remember the show. Damn.
Wait, it was supposed to be like the Michael Mann film? Because I think Stars also did Crash, the TV show, right after the movie.
No, it's not Collateral. I'm sorry. It's good Lord.
Was it not Crash? Because remember, Crash had a TV show. That's what I
That's
was
what I'm
thinking
saying.
about.
Yeah, when you said that, I'm like, I thought Crash was like it won an Oscar as a movie, and then they made it a TV show for some reason.
Hold on, Joe, I got you. Because
Nah,
I think that's what we both thinking about.
No. I know it's not that. It's about like alternate universe, basically, like a parallel.
Oh,
universe.
Counterpart. With J.K. Simmons, yeah.
Yes. Counterpart broke my heart when he canceled, man. I was like, no.
Yeah.
No.
That was the whole, like there's like an ultra universe where like he's kind of more sinister, right? In one compared to the other.
Yeah.
I've never seen this,
his
but
wife in one was his wife, who he thought was his wife, was actually like a agent, and the other wife died, and she was the more loving one. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that show.
Do you believe in that stuff? Like, do you believe there's another Joe in like Earth 268?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I guess when I'm high enough,
Joe, you know how I get. Well, Davis as well. I started like, it's an alternate universe. Look, the quantum realm. I started breaking that shit down.
Well, you believe it based on like something will happen, and you'll be like, see, like settle down. That's like when my mom. That's like when my mom would like read stuff to me as a kid, and then she would pull out a book. See, like, here's why the zodiac and astrology is accurate. I'm like, I'm 12 years old. I don't understand any of this yet. But then as I got older and like I read about like some zodiac stuff, especially for my son, I'm like, damn, she was right. Like some of this shit is accurate. Like
Yeah. Some of it definitely is scary accurate. Like
but you don't believe in past lives, like
but
my birthday?
nah,
You're with women.
like yeah. What time were you born? You know what I mean? Like, where
well,
were
that's
you?
like I don't know. Like
What moon was out? It's like
dude, that shit. That's too convoluted. Again, you're getting to like the tenant. Like the basicness is just the birthday. That should tell you more. Not like the moon was this way and then the time.
seriously,
and, what was the weather like that day? Like
I'm telling you, do your mother remember if it was dark? Like in the room?
She was in fucking pain.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Oh, that means you was born into trauma. Like crazy.
I lie to hoes all the time about my birthday. I'll be like June. I done said October. I done said a bunch of shit.
That's why you single now.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's how he wants it to be.
That's funny.
They believe in natal chart. No, reincarnation. I never believed in that because I'm like, bro, how the fuck? Who wants to come back here over and over?
But it's not usual. Like you're just like, do you believe once like you were probably do you think you were Napoleon once, Banks, or something like that? Like
I'm too tall to be Napoleon.
No, that's not how it works.
No, because it wouldn't make sense. Like, why the fuck? Who wants to come back to Earth? Like, bruh, if I come back like as Jay-Z, what the fuck? Why?
You're gonna come back as like a slug next watch.
Probably, if that shit is real.
But see, this is my thing. Like, if that were the case, right? Why would heaven exist if you're reincarnated every time?
Don't get me into that joke because I'd say I don't think it exists.
And I mean, look, heaven on earth. You know what I'm saying? So then that's
a song. Come on.
No, but as above, so below. You need to read that book, Davis.
Yeah, man, that's essentially what it will be.
Read.
Yeah. If we're gonna tap into it, let's get into it.
Shit! I think he was like, he was like going to work. Like, no. I'm straight now. Let's go.
I'm going Super Saiyan. You know what I mean? Like I say, so if there is no heaven, right, then I could see it being like a recycling thing, like you're reincarnated as something else, you're reincarnated into a different person or a different being of some sort, you know what I mean? And it might be based on the life that you live. If you were scum, you might be a slug, you know?
Right, because I think about that. So if it's like, if you real good, somebody said it's a theory like you become a star, like in the sky, because there's literally billions or probably trillions of stars in the sky. You just can't see it with your naked eye. So people have a theory about that. People have a theory about reincarnation. And then I like what Joe just said too, because it's some type of heaven that you have to have. Like, you know what I mean? There's certain times where you be like, oh shit, I feel really good, or this is a really good day.
Imagine if this is heaven on earth, right? And it's like, yo, you're not appreciating.
We've discussed that we're in the Matrix currently, not just in StreamYard, but like in life.
Right. Oh,
because obviously StreamYard is the Matrix and all that. Online is we plug in and plug out.
Because this man only like 20 minutes away, but yet I'm seeing him on the screen.
Yeah, that's it. Again, I actually had to get my father to come over for the first pod, and then the second time, a couple weeks ago, I was like, "No, I could just set you up here."
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier.
Which is still
like,
crazy.
Too close, man. Too close. Like,
but no, it's like it's a heaven trying. You got to go through hell to get to heaven. It's one of those things, and then it's a heaven on earth. So. You feel me? I think it's just based on your perception of your own reality. Like y'all about to get me into some other shit, so I'm trying not to go that way. But
see, even that, I don't know, because I mean, like, it's got to be something, you know, that like it's got to be one universal thing. So I couldn't see it like, oh man, you believe in heaven, so you ascend, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or you believe in reincarnation, so you come back as a tiger, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like I've heard those theories before. Like, why, if you was a human, why would you come back as an animal? How does that benefit you?
I don't know. He probably spins the wheel like. Well, I mean, I never finished it, but like The Good Place. Like, did any of you watch The Good Place or know about it? Like, the whole spoiler of the first season is that they're in the bad place. They just designed it to look like The Good Place to trick them. So that's, I guess, maybe along the lines of like, maybe this is heaven and we don't know it because life is heaven and getting to live compared to just being a star and whatever. Like, maybe
or
that's
being an animal. Yeah.
maybe that's the whole point. Like swapping, once you become a star, like a person is born. And if we want to get too like spiritual and this and that, because again, I'm not a religious man. But I believe in like fate and destiny and stuff like that. I believe like you meet someone at like the right time for the right reason. I can say that about Banks. I can say that about the BRP crew. I can say that about certain women that have been in my life.
No. Those were demons. Trust me, I've been there.
Yeah.
Before.
But still, ain't no problem. Ain't no problem. Like,
hey, Joe, me and Dave's about to meet a lot of demons next week, bro.
Hey.
Ooh, boy, they already cackling.
How long y'all gonna be out there?
4 days.
Thursday to Monday. Yeah.
I'm trying to get Amp to come out there. He said he might try to move something around.
I heard that.
You can't come out there, Joe?
Boy, if I had these rugs done.
Hey, we're gonna speak it to existence. But see, even speaking it to existence, like it's certain shit I say and it happens.
Yeah.
So it's that whole maybe we are the universe type shit, Davis. We made of all this shit. I don't know.
Well, that's why we said the phones are tapped, and then can't say that anymore. But yeah, it's that thing where like I don't believe in the manifesting or the speaking stuff into existence because I'm like that shit don't work. Because if it did, it'd be like I love to suck on a titty, and then like boom, like, right there, or like $1 million, and then like it's just right here. It's like Cyborg and Justice League. Like we just like make some money. Like I would do that every day. Like I ain't working ever again. Like I don't. I mean,
we'll
see. Maybe because I don't believe in it enough for it to happen. Because like, I'm that type where like, oh, that shit doesn't happen to me. Blah blah blah. But then you can see. That's why the whole like the Lord, I've seen what you've done for others. Like, like thanks. I always say like, when Lord, when? When's it gonna be my time? Like,
right.
Every time I see Megan Good, I'm like, come on, man. I'm up here doing the whole
I just saw that commercial she did, and I say, good Lord, she fine.
Bro, somebody said on Twitter, they was like, she got away from the preaching dude. And
someone said that the church was trying to keep this from us.
There you go. Yeah.
I saw that video because I was like, all right.
Yeah.
But someone said, again,
I had to drink some chocolate milk. I said, glass.
Out of all the beverages.
That was.
I won't say the quote this man said. What was that? 2 weeks ago.
God damn, that's the famous one.
Oh yeah.
Or last week.
Some shit.
I won't say what he said on the pod last week, but bruh, that was a new level of.
But I mean, I guess that's all of us when we saw again Zoe Kravitz and the Batman. But then Amp said that she only fucking with the white boys, and I'm like. I'm right here. Like,
including Drake, yeah.
Hey, just know I'm blocking, bro. So you know what I mean. Like, she might not never come your way. I'm throwing all kinds of stuff.
I got rugs. Look at all these rugs I got.
Yo, a Catwoman rug would actually be fire.
Oh, bro, what?
Now you're giving my. Now he's like, all right, I gotta see y'all later. Like,
hey,
he's gonna be like Da Vinci with the Mona Lisa, like.
Magnus Opus is still hanged up, bro. It's the Wu-Tang one. That's the one I can't wait for him to finish.
Oh, I thought he was going to say the Freddie Gibbs one because that's the one that got all the attention, right? At Art Basel.
Yeah, it definitely went crazy, man. And I need to sell that thing, man.
You need to sell it to Star of Bust Down, Freddie Gibbs.
Man, he ain't trying to buy that shit.
Off air, dude.
Oh wow! You say, you said, who the fuck is Brandon T. Jackson? You know Brandon T. Jackson.
It's a story behind that. You know what
I mean?
I bet nobody here.
No, I bet it's like the C&D if I'm reading it correctly.
No, it's not that deep. It's just you know what I mean. Everything ain't for everybody. You feel me? Even though he's told it on the platform, everything ain't for everybody.
Yeah, nah, it's all good. I mean, just wasn't able to make it work, you know.
That motherfucker's heavy too.
Yeah, it's a rug. That's the thing about rugs. It's like they have weight to them. Like, and I'm not talking about like it's like these aren't the shower ones like where you just throw right on. It's like no, these are rugs.
Right. And like, yeah, people don't know.
No. I'll leave it at that. I mean, don't want to take too much of your time, Joe. Again, we're about an hour. Is there anything else you want to maybe ask us? Stuff you want to know?
Nah, man. I tap in. You know what I mean when I can to listen in. Like I say, Davis, man, you hilarious to me. So I got to catch you
He
on
is.
here and on Black Wrestling Podcast. You know what I mean? I fuck with both of these shows. So big shout out to Black Wrestling Podcast because that's actually where I heard you first.
Yeah,
and
that's where everyone did. Yeah.
Yeah, I fuck with what y'all got going on over there. So you know,
I think so. I asked Banks as a while back. Are you a wrestling fan, or did you like watch wrestling at one
coming
time?
up. I watched it coming up. I be trying to get back into it, man. But I really only catch the major events now. You know what I'm saying? Like I just forget to cut it on fucking Mondays and Sundays and
Who's your favorite as a kid?
I loved like the battles between Stone Cold and The Rock. You know what I mean? Like I was always on the fence of who I lean more towards because I fuck with Stone Cold. You know what I mean? Stone Cold just that dude. But of course, like the Rocky Maivia, like
Davis, you know he messed old Cole, right?
Really?
Yeah, it was on the live stream. He came through. He was in his kitchen.
Man, shut the fuck up. I got a homie that he
that looks like him.
He do kind of.
Oh, real son.
Dog, that live stream was hilarious. Amp was like, "Is that Stone Cold?"
It derailed the podcast. We laughed for a good little while.
I mean, Banks and I will be doing the Rock Stone Cold my way next week. We'll just be crisscrossing each other, circling around as Limp Bizkit plays, and just
same girl,
throwing some work punches.
Yeah. Go ahead and stun him one time. Hit him with the stunner.
I can't because I'm like, my back.
Right.
My neck and my back. What was your favorite moment, or what was the one moment that stood out? Because obviously you're talking about Attitude Era, and a year ago now we talked about it with Black Announce Table, like the crazy moments as a kid that we watched as kids. I was like, wow, they really did this, and we were like, that's awesome. Like, what's one moment that sticks with you, like as you've gotten older?
Probably, I would say the Kane. I mean, not Kane, but Mankind and Undertaker fight.
The Cell, him off the Cell.
Hell in the Cell or whatever. Man, that one will live in my mind forever. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like they performed the hell out of that episode. They went crazy, or that fight rather. They went crazy. So that's one of my favorites. But I'm trying to think. See, I used to love WCW.
Well, I mean, they went to Florida a lot. Yeah.
Yep. And a lot of people were, from Pensacola and whatnot, or not necessarily a lot of people were from Pensacola, but would be in Pensacola. You know what I mean? I know Rikishi was from Pensacola, just talking about WWF and whatnot. But yeah, man, I thought like I was big into wrestling, and then as I got older, I just stopped watching as much. You know what I mean? And then
which is what happens. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and then I got back into it. Kind of as I was moving from California to here, then I kind of took a break for a little bit, then got back into it because guy I went to high school with, he was kind of he was into it. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I used to like watch it. I used to know all like the knowledge that I had learned as a kid and all that, and then got back into it. But it's just saying, like, because you were watching again with the Monday Night War, and like that's when wrestling was like the biggest thing. It was dominating the pop culture. Like I said, Stone Cold, The Rock, and then now he's Dwayne Johnson, fucking asshole movie star.
I tell you what, crazy transcendent.
With them fucking pants at the Super Bowl.
That's
the thing. Like, makes if we see who should I really be worried about seeing in Dallas that I've talked shit about? Because it's already FTR. They see me, I'm cooked. Who else?
I ain't letting you get beat up by no big ass white boys. You were around the delegation too, so you're gonna be straight. But them some big ass white boys, so from South Carolina. So you know what I mean? But otherwise in that shit.
I guess Cody Rhodes, huh?
Nah, because everybody gonna be trying to go for him.
I seen y'all got a collab with Body Boy Bottles out there too with the cups.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
Oh yeah, that's the family
right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
He
I'll
said
hit him up and tell him
we got exclusives.
Yeah, shouts to Zell for real.
For sure.
like I said, anything else you want to ask us? Kind of what would you like to see from the show, or was a favorite moment from the show?
Matter of fact, yeah. What was some of y'all's favorite moments? Matter of fact,
I mean, wrestling or from us doing
BBD.
this? I don't know. I'll text Banks sometimes after, like, this man really said this. I'm really trying to think. I guess the Brett Waters episode, the response to that was amazing because that was so early on when it had the old name.
Yeah,
but it was only really funny to like 10 people that we knew, because those were like the 10 people that were listening, but also knew of like the Brett Waters thing and like the reaction it garnered. I always tell Banks, I'm glad we did Fast Summer, where we did the commentary tracks for all the Fast and Furious movies, because Banks are, huge fans of those.
Yeah,
because we were doing the lines for months. He's a cop and the whole back. So to actually do that, I'd say is probably my favorite thing of the show so far. But I'll probably also try to think of something else.
Oh, the Muhammad Hassan episode is the first one that come to my mind besides the Brett Waters episode.
Yeah.
That Muhammad Hassan one is hilarious. But otherwise than that, for me, it's just like, I don't think the best episode has happened yet.
Here you go with that bullshit again. Like, this man speaks like Kobe Bryant, like Darius from Atlanta. He just be talking and questions that end in riddles.
People gotta stop saying that.
Yeah. Banks talking hieroglyphics.
He talks like Cam Newton's fucking Instagram post. Like,
oh Lord, yeah.
At happy to be.
Not even that. It's like, is that an A or an upside down?
Figure this shit out. Yeah. That's what
it's called CTE. It's CTE.
It's that shit in Wanted when they had like read through the loom and like this symbol means that. Like, that's what they're gonna Tyler Morse code talking ass.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, we've had some great moments, and we'll continue to have some great moments.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate them, man.
No, for real, because Joe and I know, because we've been messaging back and forth about doing this, and it's dope to finally get that. Next time, maybe we'll do it. If I'm ever in Florida, I guess we got to do it.
Yeah,
in person.
Yeah, for sure. Nah, if you
I don't know what I would be in Florida for, aside from. But I mean, that is what it is. Like,
hey, that's down here too now, so you could always come down and get some of that.
That's ironic because Pops hit me up on the DM yesterday. He was like, "Yeah, I got to bring Davis to Florida, so it's about to happen."
Oh, my dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, because my dad's been to Florida numerous times, and I have never been. That's the thing, but yeah, I mean, again, I'll be going to. I went to New Jersey, New York for the first time in November when Banks and I met in person for the first time, and he said I had feminine eyes. That was pretty funny. He looked at me. He was like damn, like.
Hey, but you didn't see what happened to him yesterday, Joe.
In his face.
No, Joe. Should I? All right, so
tell him.
So I'm working at my job. I work in a warehouse.
Yeah.
And a coworker comes by. He's like, "I need to tell you something," and he's like, "Don't take this the wrong way or anything like that." He's like, "You have a nice butt," and he says, and I'm like. I mean, thanks, I guess. Yeah. And I didn't, and it wasn't, I didn't come off as like predatory or like, damn, like, like, or anything like that.
Man, I just want to say, man, that gluteus maximus, what you got in on the back of that?
Am I Tony Storm? Like, what, like, did not know, like, but no, everyone, I tweeted and everyone had jokes in response. I'm like, it's no problem to me. Like, again, I'm comfortable in my sexuality. Like, it's not going to affect me. I'm not going to be like George all the time. Like, I think it moved. Like, after he said that, like, but no, it was just a crazy thing. But I was like, is this what women go through? Like,
yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Is he
probably
gay?
Worse.
No, that's why I'm like, no, I was like, no, because this would be, again, just look at us on Twitter. Zoe Kravitz for her tongue out, and we're just like, looking the lips like Heath Ledger joke, like, okay,
right. Hey man, that man saw you and said, "Why you just out here double cheeked up?"
Yeah, no, legit. Next week, I'm gonna show up and like cover myself. Like, nah, you ain't seeing nothing. Like.
You gotta put the flint on like Kurt Cobain, bro.
Basically, or Raven, I guess, right?
There you go.
fucking bum.
No, you out your goddamn mind.
I'm just trying to piss you off.
I know.
Because that's the thing about us. Like, and like, you can probably tell that, Joe's like, we'll say shit to each other just to piss the other one off or to pop the other. Like, Banks will say some crazy shit just so I can laugh. And even though he knows he shouldn't say it, like, I'm still going to laugh because it's funny. Like,
yeah. Hey, sometimes we need that, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because literally with pre-production for Random Acts, it'll be quiet as hell. And either Joe going to say something, I might say something, but Amp definitely going to say something, and then all hell breaks loose.
Well, I picture Joe's like, I'm just waiting for the red light. Yeah, he's like, when the camera's on, I'm on.
Yeah. I mean, look,
is.
I smoke, you know what I mean? I kick back, and then once it comes go time, it's like, all right.
Yeah, you do the Denzel. Like, I'm here to act. Get off the set. Like, you don't have to do the Jared Leto. Like, I'm in character 24/7.
Yeah, nah, man. I couldn't live like that, man. No. What, dog? I tell you.
Because they expect you Banks. To be. Go ahead.
Yeah, they expect you to be that 24/7.
Yeah,
like I got a friend that want to talk about podcast shit when I'm not recording, and I'm like,
gee,
I can put you on air for this. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Like, they expect you to be funny. People want you to be funny all the fucking time. It's like, dog.
Or not just that. They think that, you know, what you say on air, you know what I mean, defines your personality all the time. And it's like, I don't know what made, like, maybe you got the wrong perception of that joke. You know?
That's the thing I think people will realize next week. I mean, is that, again, like I said, like, in Dallas, people will be like, hey, Drip. And I'll be like, yeah, hey, because I'm just like, all right,
right. Like, yeah, you definitely gonna get a different person. What you
like, hey, Drip, like, get your fucking hands off me. Like,
you know,
no, you might have to literally say that. The Jay Fox show, bro. No, you might have to actually say that because motherfuckers do be handsy at these events. So
yeah, now what you
got? And then after the tweet, they're gonna be like, "Hey, turn around for a minute." I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean turn around?" Like,
now in that instance, you got to fight.
But now people do them like Marlon Wayans. Keep the loving where it's at.
Because Joe had this conversation several times, but I know recently he had this conversation where it was probably like a month or so ago, where it's just people just think Joe is just Joe all the time so they could say whatever they want to him. He said it, and I remember vividly, I think it was after we rapped. Like, people will say shit to Joe, and it's like, bro, you can't just say anything. Well, it's been said before.
Was this on the live show? At the live show? Or
no,
I was going to ask what that was like real quick. What was that like, doing a show in front of an audience? Because that's something I think would be dope as fuck to do, a podcast in front of an audience.
I'll say this, man. I come from music, you know what I mean? Like a music background and whatnot. So
I was hoping you would say I was in drama in high school. In the theater.
That'd be funny. I thought I'd be good at it, but nah. So I've been comfortable performing and whatnot. So being on stage wasn't necessarily like a drawback or anything like that. I think more so it was just, you know, like, now you're seeing your crowd, you know what I mean? So like you're catering your jokes or your personality, your stories and things of that for these people that are giving you like live reactions.
That's what I was about to say. Did that kind of throw you off a bit here in the immediate? Because I mean, with something like Black Wrestling and we'll put comments on, and that's kind of as close as we can get for now through the internet. Is that's a reaction in itself. We just don't, you know, physically hear it, but then one of us will react, and that's close enough.
Yeah, so it definitely fuels you, you know what I mean? Like with the first one, the first live show that we did, I thought that it was great, you know, just because like Amp refers to it as my coming out party, you know what I mean? Pause, but
come on, go see.
He's like, yo, like, you know, that like the way that the audience accepted me, you know what I mean? Like they allowed me to have fun and whatnot. Like I don't remember everything because I was obliterated. Like I was drunk, you know. But I was drunk. That's why I mentioned something about a white girl, like in the front row. I was like, "Ma'am, are you white?"
Because you look like a goddamn ghost. I mean,
Wait, so you was drunk?
and I want to know if I'm dreaming or like, am I being like haunted? Like, what's going on?
So you was
in my
roasted when
head,
we went to Art Basel that whole time.
You said what?
That whole time we went to Art Basel, you was blasted too when
The
you was trying to
first
sell the
time?
rug.
Oh, the second
no.
time?
I'm
No,
thinking
no,
about the
no.
second time. My fault.
No, no. All right. So the second time, I mean, the second time I was more so like in a good zone. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't
Yeah.
tipsy. I
A
wasn't
medium, yeah.
Yeah. But so with the first show, I felt like it was easier in the sense like no one knew what to expect from me, so I could really like push the limits, and that's kind of what I was thinking in my head. You know what I mean? Like, let me kind of see how far I can go with my stories and this and that. You know what I mean? To have a little fun and like just engage with people, and they took very well to it, like seeing people laugh and smile and whatnot. So the second time, I wanted it to be more like welcoming, you know what I mean? We had a pretty good crowd out there, and I I feel like they got to engage as well, you know what I mean? Chiming in from time to time and things like that. So they were more comfortable knowing that we had done at that point 3 live shows, 2 of them, I had been a part of. But also I think they felt that energy from me and Elp, that we want you to feel welcomed. You know what I mean? We want you to feel like you can engage with us during the show, after and before. So it was a lot of love, you know what I mean? And I think that once you actually do the live show, like if y'all do one in Dallas, man, I know people are gonna go fucking nuts for it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, we'll just probably do it where we're at, and then I guess the guys there will be like, what it's like on drink champs, just like we'll say something and clap, 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 clap. Like,
yeah.
We do a pod an audience of 7, like.
Nah, I mean, honestly, dog, I look at
I
it.
think math would be like, boo, like shut the fuck up, like.
I don't even think that the numbers matter. You know what I mean? Like the energy does.
And that's what kind of was like the BRP live that we did. I mean, it was just Gene Cena and Blacktone Stud in the room, but it was like you could hear us talk to people off air. But that's different. But
right.
I guess the last thing I gotta say to you is, I mean, I think you and I might be similar. Like we might be each other's doppelganger. Because I mean, people made fun of your dance moves. Yeah, people made fun of your dance moves a while back with you was out here magic liking it.
I was
magic,
and
then me on. Yeah.
I'm an island boy.
Yeah, and then on Hobio Fest, of course, I had to, do a little something, and then people were like, "Oh, my eyes!" Like, "Oh."
Right.
So there might be something going on. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. When's your birthday?
But yeah. No, I mean, Joe, thanks for stopping by. Hopefully, this isn't the last time.
Nah, not at all, man. Definitely appreciate y'all having me, man.
You already know.
Is there anything you gotta promote? All that before you head out?
Hey, shit, plug with the rug. If anybody needs a custom, man, y'all holla at your boy. Let's get it.
See, the thing is, I have carpet all in my apartment, and the only 2 places I don't is the kitchen and the bathroom. Like, I wouldn't want to get a nice rug just to like use it like the messiest spots.
So check this out, though. You got some wall space.
True. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I barely hang anything up in my apartment. So yeah.
Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? You can hang the rug.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I get. Maybe I'd have to get like the OVO owl since I got it tatted on me or something like that.
Oh, that'd be dope, man. I've seen a few designs like that, man. A few designs like that. So yeah, man. I say, hey, if you with it,
or Banks's face, and I'll just like walk in some shit and then like walk on my white feet on.
Imagine that.
Let
me call Jesse Jackson right now.
That's funny.
Banks. What about you? I know you don't like to be found on Twitter, but come on.
He don't like to talk.
I gotta plug my shit. Hey, I am not Banks on Twitter, TikTok, IG. Random Acts of Podcast producer at Random Acts of Podcast. Sign up for the Patreon. The Patreon is going crazy. The fucking main IG page, from what they telling me, is going crazy. When we did the bonus episode, they said it was a notification every 5 seconds. So the numbers are going up. Bonus episode out right now. Random Acts at Night. Can't wait for the new episode. The last one was great as well, and the one before that. Otherwise, that's it, man. Thanks versus Davis, the BVD pod. We 4 subscribers away from 150. So
I was about to say, again, the famous one is, you don't want to plug your own shit?
Right.
And you just sitting there like,
hey, and then look, I should be ashamed of myself. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even say nothing about the podcast. I mean, I shot it aside, of course, when we started, but yeah, definitely.
This will be podcast. When you guys have like the behind the podcasting, when our AOP breaks up, it'll be like, and that's when it started. Tension. And it was like, I took it personally that when he was with Banks and it was like, he didn't say
I watched the episode. Banks did all the plugging. Joe said.
Yeah. It makes like, see right here, I was just trying to, do this and that.
Yeah.
No, he's just tired. Again, I have an accent too, but again, I have the northern accent of California. Like, that's just how it goes. You just have a Southern California accent. But I'm on Twitter at Davis, aka Drip. Instagram, daviscoltondc. Like Banks said, we're 4 subscribers away from 150 on YouTube, which is fucking crazy to think about at this point, especially where we were a year ago. But it's all audio is available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Hopefully, we'll have our first ever live episode of us in the same place next week. But until then, stay subscribed, share, like Banks always says, like this video. It helps spread the pod all over the place, and just keep tuning in. We got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. I mean, Doctor Strange is a month and a half away, almost 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, we'll be talking about Winning Time, whatever else. I mean, old shit, new shit, everything.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
As the GOAT, greenest nigga of all time.
All right.